One article that I came across today was Substack is beta testing television. So they're beta testing a television app through Apple TV, and I believe I have the article right here, Google TV as well. So what does this mean like for business owners? How can you take this and essentially run with it? I want you to think about the different platforms that already exist, right? Like people make money on TikTok, they go live on TikTok, they sell things through TikTok Live. YouTube has a TV app already. So when you have a YouTube channel and you put yourself out there on this YouTube channel, people can also watch your content through television. So what does this, like I said, what does this mean? Knowing that Substack is beta testing television should change how creators think about what they are building. So I want you to think differently about what you are building. If you have been on the social media game for a while, you've been in the content creation space for a while, you have watched how these things have evolved. You have watched the evolvement. Even when we think of, Vine, like Vine was one of the first like short form videos and things like that, right? So you have watched the evolvement of content. And what we have seen is we've seen this like up and down trend, right? Short form becomes very trendy, very popular. And then after short form, we're kind of into long form that becomes trendy and popular and so on and so forth. YouTube, for example, has held the reign of long form content, but even when things started moving a little bit more short form, they went short form content, right? So when you think about your brand, you think about your business, you think about how you're going to sell, how you're going to show up, and what you're going to represent, you now have an opportunity to really look at yourself as a television program. And this goes just beyond, like, there's YouTube, but now Substack is doing it, right? So you can look at yourself as a television program. Creators are not just bloggers anymore, or just bloggers, or just posting content for the sake of posting content. When you think about a structured television series, there is a plot, there is a main character, there are twists, there are plot twists, there are highs, there are lows, there are all kinds of things, right? And what were television shows called back in the day? They're called programs. There's a type of programming. So when we think about where we're in right now, the age of Aquarius and community building and all of that, you as a creator, you as the brand, you as the business owner, you are the programmer. You are the one programming this. And so when you think about, I want you to take a moment and think about if you were to sit down and put something on TV. Think about you as a business owner and you as the brand. What would you want people to get out of it when they put you on the television screen? When they're like, you know what? I'm going to tune into the creator edit today, right? That's the name of my Substack, my Substack newsletter. I'm going to turn it to the creator edit. What are they going to get out of it? The way that I'm going to use it is quite simple. Everything is going to be structured. I'm very excited for this. I will say that. I'm very excited for this. And I have a structured plan happening to where, Mondays are going to be predictable. Think of like almost like a Jimmy Fallon night show, right? Mondays are going to be a predictable topic. Tuesdays are still going to be live podcast recording. This is going to be the more structured approach. The way that, people can come in and know like, okay, this numbered stuff is more spirituality teaching, identity work, intuition, things like that, right? But then of course there's going to be trainings, live trainings and different things like that. I'm trying to find my exactly what I had said. Hold on a second. Oh, where's my oh, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, so think of your videos as a series. Think of yourself as the television series. You're the director, you're the producer, you're the main character, and this is your program. How do you want your audience to react to your programming? If you want to get all conspiracy here, which I'm always down, like I said, television shows in general back in the day were already called program. What is program? It changes the mind, right? When you get programmed, your mind shifts into beliefs and stuff, right? People are kind of opening their eyes to that to see how media has played a huge role in brainwashing, for lack of a better term, right? And this has been studied and looked at since I want to say the 40s and 50s, and I know for sure by the 60s, right? So when you think about that, how do you want your audience to feel? How do you want to do your programming? Okay, this is your opportunity to really dive into story-led sales. If you want to sell more of your products, then you have the opportunity to treat your long form videos as television shows, as the show of the why of your product. This is the story led sales method, right? You're telling your story and you appear on the big screen. Think of your think of your short form clips as the commercials, right? What little snippets do you want to give that tell people, hey, behind the scenes on the big screen, so to speak, this is what you can get more of? When somebody scrolls and they see your 30-second clip, right? Because most commercials, I've worked in advertising sales, right? Commercials are typically 15, 30, or 60 seconds, and you got to grab the attention and then go, right? And businesses will promote advertising, like I said, 15, 30, or 60-second clips on commercial to grab the attention to then get people to do something. So if you're thinking about your shorts, your reels, your TikTok videos, anything like that as something to grab the attention to get people to do something, when they then move and migrate and come into your other space, come into your actual, brand and business space, the long form space, what are they getting out of it? What is your program about? What are you programming them for, right? Your brand is no longer, because everything is so media focused now, your brand is not just about content anymore. It is about programming. It's about having a story, having a series to go with it. And this is not to say, let me be very clear, this is not to say that you cannot be multi passionate or, do different things. But what it is to say is that there should be some type of overall structure. If we think of the show Supernatural, and I'm gonna use that because that's my favorite all-time hands down favorite show. If we think of the show Supernatural, there were plot twists, there were highs, there were lows, there were, different things that came into the series through the seasons and stuff, different battles they had to go through and all of that. But the bread and butter remained the same. They're hunting monsters, right? That's the bread. You're gonna get into a sci-fi show and they're hunting monsters. So what is your bread and butter? What is your root, the root of your tree? And then you get to branch off into these other things. Think about that in terms of your brand, and then take it a step further and start to think about that in terms of, like I said, thinking of yourself as a television show, thinking of yourself as, some form of like a talk show or whatever it is, right? Talk shows are popular. Everybody's always loved talk shows. Look at Wendy Williams. We loved her. Like, she was messy. And then like some people love like Jimmy Fallon and the comedy, right? Like think about how you want it to be. Okay. If you're gonna be using your Substack to sell, if you are like, you know, long form, your higher ticket, so you go long form for sales and different things like that, your videos should no longer be random. You should start thinking of them like a series. Think of them like a sorry, I thought someone came to my window. Think of them like a television series, okay? So for like story-led sales, trainings, teachings, okay? Your story is not going to be separate from your sales. The teaching is a part of your authority. If you're a business owner, your brand should be having something to do with teaching, especially if you're a service-based business owner, right? So like me as a service-based business owner, I make sure that I teach you guys something all the time, right? Because I want you to learn. Okay. When you do it this way, your sales does not have to feel transactional. And because I'm so into visualization, I want you to really take a moment and imagine. And I went to acting school when I was 21. Okay. So when I was 21, I wanted to be an actress. And then I didn't like it because I wanted to be myself, and you can't be yourself in acting. You got to be all these other things. So I left. But you got to be all these other characters. I wanted to be they're called an ingenue, where you just show up on set and like Will Smith, right? We know it's Will Smith. So something like that. But anyways, oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. So when you start to think of it, um, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, when you start to think of it like that, like you are the main character, the actress, all of that, your sales doesn't feel transactional anymore, because now it's just a part of who you are. It's a part of the process. It's a part of your brand, right? People use television to sell things all the time. Think about your product as the merch. People get really hooked on a show, People get really hooked on something, right? Like, let's go back to Supernatural. People get really hooked on Supernatural. They're like, I love this show. I love the plot. I love these people. Like, I'm invested emotionally into this. Now they start buying stuff just to support the show. I was never going to be a hunter, but I have a Supernatural shirt. Like, you know what I mean? So then think of it like that. They start buying things because they trust your series. They become emotionally invested into you. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I remember now. The visualization. So take a moment and think of it this way, or close your eyes and visualize this for a moment. I want you to imagine that you have your live series, and somebody is sitting on their couch and they're like, I'm going to tune into Sasha today, or I'm going to tune into Natalie today, or whatever, use your name, whatever your name is. Me, I'm going to tune into Nikki today. And it's a Saturday, and they're like, I am ready to get to work. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to do the thing. And so they pop on their TV and they go and they find you. They're already subscribed to you. So the way that it's going to work based on the article that I read, and again, I have it here, is, let's see. First of all, the creators who already publish videos, there's nothing new that you have to do. So the way that it will work is, let me see. Where did it go? Okay. Subscribers can watch posts and live streams from the creator and publications that they're subscribed to. So if you have a daily reoccurring live, let's say you're live every single day at 9 a.m., people can then grab onto their app, open it on the television, and tune in. Imagine that. Oh, I can't wait to watch Nikki at 9 o'clock, right? You know what I mean? A predictable schedule, right? They can browse a For You row that highlights videos from their subscriptions plus recommended videos. So this is both good for your loyal people who are already subscribed to you. When they browse, if you're using video, you're going to pop up right there. But then this is also good for reach, for exposure, because now you're getting on the recommendations from what I can tell in the article based on where your niche is, right? So this is a great opportunity for exposure. So if somebody is watching a parallel creator of my, a creator that's parallel to me, I might pop up on recommendations. If you like this person, you might like this person. Think of that like Netflix. That's exactly what it reminds me of. Think of it like Netflix. When you're watching a show on Netflix, it's like, oh, you might be interested in this. When I was, always watching Supernatural, the other thing that would come up is like, you might be interested in The Walking Dead. You might be interested in Breaking Bad, right? So it exposes you to consumers who don't necessarily know who you are, which is a great thing. Let's see. Open a dedicated page for each subscription to explore more videos from a specific publication. So now you have a bingeable opportunity. Now you have the opportunity to, for lack of a better term, have seasons and episodes and things like that. They can click on you and be like, wow, this is all of the content that she has. This is all of the videos that she has, right? So with all of that being said, let me see. I'm just scrolling through. So right now it's just for videos. Audio posts and read alouds are not yet supported. Eventually they'll expand to that. They'll expand to previews of paid content and app upgrades for paid subscriptions, et cetera, et cetera. So right now it's really just in the beta testing of the television thing. But what I really wanted to do is just come on and talk about how excited I am for that, how this is a great opportunity for you to get out there, get known, and to be able to really expand your brand, but start to look at your brand in a different way. Instead of looking at it like the old school way of, the old school way of content thinking, you can really start to look at yourself, like I said, as the program, as the television program, as the series. What are you about, right? From a long form perspective. So that is what I have for you today. I will see everybody next week. I am going out of town. I'm going to go take my daughter on a little birthday trip. So I will be back probably late next week. And then if you're not already subscribed, starting February 2nd, which is, the timing is amazing because I was planning on doing this and then I saw this article today and I was like, okay, God and I are on the same page here. So starting February 2nd, I will be doing a daily live Monday through Friday. So a weekday live every day. And I will be going through different teachings for you. So Mondays, we're going to have a masterclass. Every single Monday, I will be hosting a masterclass once I figure out the streaming setup, which I'm going to figure out next week. So every Monday, I'm going to be hosting a masterclass. Tuesday, you can join me for the live Beyond the Script podcast recording. This is going to be anything identity focused, spiritual, intuition, the spiritual side of entrepreneurship. All the energetics are going to be on Tuesday. Wednesdays, we're going to be discussing digital products / digitalizing your expertise. So that will be Wednesday's trainings. Thursdays will always be sales focused. We'll get into sales, content sales, email marketing sales, any sales calls, all of it, right? We'll do some sales trainings. And then Fridays are going to be a free for all. There will be different things that come up throughout the week. Fridays, we'll just, talk about that. Probably talk about some way to do leads, maybe some energetic stuff that did not get fully covered on Tuesday or something like that. But yes, that is the official live schedule for the Creator Edit. So make sure that you are subscribed on Substack so that you don't miss out, especially Mondays. The live masterclass is going to be good. How many times you get free masterclasses every week? So the live masterclasses are going to be good. I'm excited. I will see you either on the television screen or the laptop screen or your cell phone. With that, I will talk to you all when I come back from vacation.